to European Union, Opportunities for Young People by Kaja Możdżeń, a representative of the Europeers Network. Kaja Możdżeń is a social activist from Lublin with over 3 years of experience in civil participation and social project coordination. She started her journey as a volunteer at the Sempre a Frente Foundation, where she has been involved ever since. Currently, she is involved in local, national and international activities, which she achieves through activity in networks such as Europeers Poland and Young European Ambassadors. Kaja was awarded with Young Edu Inspirator 2023, titled by the Polish National Agency of Erasmus+ and European Solidarity Corps. Over the years, she has surpassed the number of 1,500 hours she has dedicated to her activism in total. Bravo.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Hello everyone. I have to say, this will be quite an interactive session. So I see that this is recording, but if I'll be going around, is that an issue?
It's okay if you're going around, but I cannot move the camera
it's okay.
around, so...
I will just wave to the camera once in a while that I'm here. Listen guys, I feel like a copycat a little bit, because I'll be also talking about Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps. That's what I have prepared, and I'm going with it, but as I mentioned, it will be more interactive. So what I have for you guys, we'll have to share, I'm sorry. I didn't know how many people will be here, so I kind of like gave an estimate. What you will have is 3 interactive cards. Yes. What are they? One says yes, one says no, and the third one says I have more to say. So I'll ask questions, do you know of something, are you aware of something like that, and we'll just interact. If you show it, I'll come to you, ask how you're doing, and what do you think about this topic? We'll have to show. We'll have to practice timeliness and interacting with each other. Very good. Yes. Collaboration. You know, it will be a session of talking, discussing. Okay. Yeah, everyone? There you go. For you guys. Okay, everybody has one. We'll be sharing. I also see a range of ages. I thought that I'll be just talking to students, but I see that there are some workers of the university, right? Yes? Yes, yes. All right. Then I will, still talking about Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps, I will try to go deeper into the topic and maybe show you some other sites or show you QR codes that you can also scan. I have this information with you. But first is the first question, so get your cards ready. Do you know this? Are you aware of something like the Europeers Network? No. That's awful, guys. That's horrible, because I'm part of the Europeers Network. And basically we are a network that is a group of young ambassadors of the Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps programs. So our job is to come up to people and say, hey, do you know that Erasmus Plus exists? Or do you know how many projects are under Erasmus Plus program? We are supposed to inform and encourage young people to also take advantage of these opportunities that the European Union gives to young people. Also, when I say young people, youth, youngsters, by the European definition, youth is classified as people between the age of 13 and 30. So it's a wide range. I can either go to high school, I can come up here and talk about you, because still in such a wide range, these opportunities apply. And by the way, I'm Kaja. Again, I was... such a lengthy introduction, but my name is Kaya, I'm part of the Europeans Network, and I'm a social activist. I've been involved in volunteering and stuff like that for over 3 years now. Personally, yesterday I just finished my high school finals, so I'm free. I'm free of educational duties right now. And even last... high school number 30, Jana Twardowskiego. And even last year, I was, I think, in this exact room, but as a representative of the Young European Ambassadors Network during the social days, Dni Społeczne, that are held in Kul. And I was also talking about European opportunities. So this is quite a theme for me, because as part of the Europeans Network, I'm doing national activities, so I'm going all over Poland in different opportunities and informing young people. And as a Young European Ambassador, this is an international network which also promotes solidarity between nations, between the EU and the neighboring countries. But we are not going to talk about Young European Ambassadors, but about opportunities. And firstly, another question, get your guys ready. Are you aware of something like the Foundation for the Development for the Educational System? No. Oh yes, I say yes. Can you explain it in your own words?
I don't want to explain.
Fair enough.
I have nothing more to say.
Okay, but you know it.
Yeah.
You've heard of it. Nice. FRSM is a national agency of the Erasmus Plus and the European Solidarity Corps programs. So, yes, it's a Polish national agency. It's just an NGO, non-governmental organization, which has the role of giving out the funds that are given by the European Commission for projects that are created in Poland, that are funded by the Erasmus Plus and the European Solidarity Corps programs. So this is like the head of everything that I will talk about. People in this foundation are the ones that are doing the work, that are checking all the documents, all the documentations of different projects, and also the Europeans Network is under this foundation. We are kind of like one of their many activities that they are accountable for, because they do a lot. This graphic is not of the best quality, sorry for that, but they are in charge of promoting and taking care of many different things. But as you can see, Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps programs are one of the most popular ones, and these are like the key parts of their work as the national agency of these programs. So it starts with Erasmus Plus. Have you heard of it? Have you participated in it maybe? Mikhail Paolo left, so he won't share his story. You have participated. But you know it. And do you know it from like the academic?
Yes.
Yeah? From the academic standpoint? Yes, no? Yes and no?
Yes
Yes.
and no.
Yeah?
Because there were two questions.
Yes.
For the first one, I have heard of it. And for the second, I have participated.
Okay. I will try to give you the questions one by one. Thank you for pointing that out. I have more to say. Amazing. I love that. There you go. You have the mic now.
Yes, I didn't participate in Erasmus Plus because I didn't have a chance. However, I was in a program. I think I was for 1 week and a half in a foreign country, but this was organized by a different organization. However, Erasmus in my university financed all the flights and the accommodation.
So you know it as a program that gives funding for such activities. Amazing. Anything else? Okay. No more to say. As my previous speaker was talking about, there are many different activities that are under the Erasmus Plus program. Of course, there's the mobility for students, that many young people are aware of this program from, because in academic settings, the Erasmus Plus program is usually presented as an exchange for students to go to a different university to study for one semester, for 1 year, or in case of Erasmus Mundus, for the master's degree in another country. But again, I think it's good that Mihailo also spoke about it previously, because I will just repeat it so that you can remember it better, because apart from these mobilities for students are training courses, which are projects directed for people over the age of 18. There are no upper limits for it, because these are usually training courses, because these are usually projects directed towards professionals, and it usually is associated with youth work. So adults that work with young people, that support them in some way, either by being a teacher, being an NGO worker, being a youth worker in some kind of sense. These training courses are similar to youth exchanges that are for youth, but in the case of more sharing good practices and learning deeper into the topic, because these are for people that already have some experience in the scene of youth work. And the youth exchanges are for people over the age of 13, so we are from the bottom of like the youth spectrum, and participants can be up to 30 years old. But as Mihailo mentioned at the previous session, it really depends on each project that an NGO takes care of, what is really the directed age of participants that are supposed to participate in such projects. So there can be a project that is towards people aged 15 to 18, but also for people aged 18 to 25. So it can differ project to project, because the NGO that wants to coordinate such mobility is in charge of setting such rules as the age of participants that they are looking for. And Discover EU is a project that is under the Erasmus Plus program, which I don't think any of you qualify for anymore, sadly, but I still want to speak about it, because not many people are aware of it, and if we raise social awareness, then it will be more commonly known, so that people younger than us are aware of such opportunities. Because Discover EU is a project directed for people that are exactly 18 years old each year. There's a lottery held in 2 different rounds, in which young people apply. They fill out a quiz with knowledge of Europe, and they have a lottery question, which you cannot guess the answer to, because it's very abstract and usually is connected to the round that they are applying for. So they can have a question, okay, in this round, how many people will start traveling in July? So you cannot know the answer, you just give it a good guess. And for each European EU member state, there are a qualified number of people that win an Interlake pass. So they get a free travel throughout Europe by train for up to 30 days of travel. So they get a free travel basically, which they can use to explore Europe, and that is the purpose of this project. The Discover EU is to discover Europe. So even though it's very, the directed group for Discover EU is very slim and it changes year to year, I still want to speak of it, because again, social awareness will make it much more commonly for people to know of this and to apply for that. Knowing the story of Mihailo from last session and of hearing about what is Erasmus Plus, that is such different projects under it, but still youth exchanges, training courses, and mobilities for students, that I think is like the core of Erasmus. We can speak about some pros and cons. From what you've heard so far, what do you think are the pros of Erasmus Plus?
Money.
Money? I mean, you as a participant don't receive money unless it's like for internship or receiving funding for you to live in another country, right? In that sense, money.
Yes.
Yes? Any cards? Any ideas? Because from Mihailo we can assume that he gathered a lot of life experience. He went hitchhiking. I didn't even know that this would be someone that would like to do something like that, but this is just an example that Erasmus is a place for experiences. What else?
Well, okay, as part of the experience, of course, is the general idea of traveling, right? You get to see beautiful places, sites, museums. This is basically kind of the challenge.
Yes. Travel is a part of that, definitely. But I think that also it's kind of similar, it's connected to travel, because I participated in projects that were funded by Erasmus Plus in Lublin. So I didn't travel anywhere, so to say, but what is connected to travel is the cultural integration that Erasmus Plus provides. Because even if I went to a project that was held in Lublin, so I didn't leave my hometown, I still met people from other countries, and I could interact with them, I could talk to them, and we could have a conversation about, okay, yeah, in Lublin it is like that, but what's it like in your city? What's your day life? What's your favorite type of soup? This kind of conversations are possible thanks to the cultural aspect of Erasmus+. There are no other ideas for pros. We can go to cons. I'm sorry. But each opportunity has pros, and for it to have pros, it also have some cons. So it's kind of Erasmus minus in a way. Because, for example, money, that was said, that is true. But for example, going for a youth exchange, you are provided travel, but after the project has already happened, you are given a reimbursement. So firstly, to participate in Erasmus, you have to pay for the tickets yourself, then be in contact with the organization that was responsible for this project, and after a couple weeks or even months after the project, you will get the reimbursement of your travel. So over the time, you don't lose anything, but it is something to keep in mind that you will have to kind of like look away some of your money for a little bit, because that's just how the way that the funding works. Because the organization, while they're documenting the project, then they go over the budget, and then they provide for each of the participants the budget that they owe this person. But just so you know, it is free, but over time, because you will be given a reimbursement. What else? To participate in Erasmus Plus, you have to have time to do so. You have to be aware, first of all, that this Erasmus Plus exists, and even when you work, even when you study, you can go to Erasmus, but you have to make time for that. Because for mobilities for students, you're going away for a semester or two, or 1 year, or for Erasmus Mundus, you have to go away for 2 years. So you're going to a completely different community. And of course, it's an amazing opportunity, but you have to put a stop to what you're doing in your hometown for a while for that reason. Even to go for a project that is up to 1 to 2 weeks, you still have to make time for that, and it also have some sacrifices. Or maybe I won't go to the one party that my friend is planning this weekend. Or I won't be able to travel to a museum in my city because I'll be going to Spain. And how can I go to Spain and be at the museum at the same time? You have to make some sacrifices to plan your travel. Any other ideas from you guys? Once you were hearing about it, because from what I can tell, no, Faustina, you've participated in some projects, right? Yeah? And how many? Not a lot. Hello, I'm talking to you. And what would you say are the cons of Erasmus Plus that you've also observed? Right now, let's focus on the minutes because that's where I left off.
I think I don't know. For example, when I wanted to participate in the same time, I had classes here on university, and I needed to just drop it for like 1 week, and later. to manage to catch up it. So it was the minus for me. And I think on the right side, a lot of positive. I had a lot of fun, and it was for free. I could see the new place, food amazing, new people from different cultures. I could speak, practice not my language, but English or Italian. So I think a lot of pros. Thank you for sharing your experience. No, because it's important to talk about, guys. It's important to show the reality, the real picture of being in such projects, because I think Erasmus Plus is shown as a very positive thing, and of course it is, but for it to have this idealized version in your head doesn't make you well informed about it. Because to participate you need to be well informed. So just letting you know, but overall, as Faustina said, it's an amazing experience, but you have to be aware that this is an opportunity that also requires some action from you. Also, in general, to participate in Erasmus Plus, you need to make the decision to participate in it. Nothing will come your way like, oh, okay, come to Spain next week. Usually, especially youth exchanges are kind of tricky project to get into, because the national agency or the European Commission doesn't have an official database regarding projects that NGOs are looking for participants for. So it can be difficult to find opportunities like youth exchanges, because these are created by NGOs, and usually some NGOs recruit participants only from their group of volunteers, because these are trusted people, and also an NGO is taking responsibility for people that they are sending to a project. So usually it can be that way that many people aren't aware of this opportunities such as youth exchanges, because it can be a bit tricky to get into. But as Mihailo showed in the last session, there are not official databases, such as Facebook groups, such as Instagram accounts, that then make it possible for you to fill out a form and kind of recruit for those projects, which you can be chosen to participate in. So even if you're not part of the NGO, even if you're not a volunteer, even though I highly recommend you to be active in your community, you can still be a participant, but you usually have to make the action to fill out the form, to go through the recruitment process, and give it your best try. It's kind of like looking for a job, because you don't know how many applications you need to fill out to be accepted. You just have to give it a try. And for that to happen, you need to show initiative. So just keep that in mind. You need to make the decision to take advantage of these opportunities. That's like the main message.
Excuse me,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
So Erasmus is not the program to study in another place, continues your study.
It's not only regarding studies. It can be totally apart from the academic aspect of your life. Because, for example, like the youth exchanges and the training courses are organized either by nation.
Which kind of training courses?
Mm-hmm.
Which kind?
There are many different kinds. Because these are projects that are created by NGOs, and they can take up many forms. Usually these are just like 1 to 2 weeks projects which you travel to come to an NGO, which is the host of such projects.
Which one NGO?
I'm sorry, the time for question will be at the end, so now you can continue.
Okay. But regarding also training courses, that's something for me to share to you, because youth exchanges are a bit tricky, because these are not an official database, but there is an official database for training, for e-learning opportunities, and this is Salto. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible, because it can be a bit confusing with the youth exchange and the training courses, because training courses are looking for professionals, so there is a database for that. Youth exchanges are more flexible and this is up to the NGO on how they recruit participants, but by Salto you can find opportunities that are funded or organized by the national agencies themselves. To show you, once you go to Salto, there's a training course finder, so specifically training courses or seminars or conferences or e-learning opportunities. You can find them by looking over the proposed projects that are input by different organizations. So you can fill out like the select options that you are from Poland, so a project that is suitable for people from Poland, that you want on this and this day for the project to happen. You can select this way and look for opportunities that way. So again, this is a database for training courses, so usually it is towards professionals, but there are also some e-learning opportunities and conferences and seminars that you can go to. So I'm still giving away that information to make use of that. And going to another program, which is very dear to me, because I think I have much more experience in that way. And it is the European Solidarity Corps. What Mihailo mentioned at the last session, it was mostly about the volunteering abroad, which is absolutely one of the main activities that the European Solidarity Corps provides. But another thing is the so-called solidarity projects. So I will go into that. Solidarity projects are an opportunity to receive funding from the European Solidarity Corps, from the European Commission, by the national agency, to receive funding for local initiatives. So you're getting European funds to organize an activity as a group of young people. Because what you need to do to qualify and to make a project, you have to look for your friends, look at them and gather at least 5 people, aged 18 to 30. This is like a hard age gap that you need to qualify for. If you're 17 or if you're 31, you cannot qualify for it, so just keep that in mind. And you are the so-called initiative group. By that, you can then look out for the announcements of the national agency and the European Commission regarding when are the enrollments for projects and for funding for the projects. So usually these are 2 rounds per year, one at spring time and the other one in autumn. And these are they're called wow, English is hard today, guys. Sorry. This project. Yeah. So what I have here to explain for you guys, I've shown some solidarity projects that were coordinated in Lublin. So these are some of the projects that were founded by the European Solidarity Corps and are like real action that happened. And I can say that because I'm part of some of these projects. Especially like the Lublin Unity Campus. This is something that might interest you guys because I've already met someone that is part of this project in a way because he's a participant. Because Lublin Unity Campus is unfortunately a project that is close to ending, but it is directed towards students and international students especially, because our aim by this project that we've been coordinating for 6 months since last autumn was to integrate culturally the academic community in Lublin. So this is one of the initiatives that is still ongoing. By the end of the month we will finish it, but it's something that really happened. I have someone who can vouch for that, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to share experience? Please, do that for me.
I will make an advertise for you. And I think that the project that she did with her friends is like something really uncommon, and is one of things in the city that is other than the things that you can do on your own, because you don't need to do anything, just go in and she and her friends do everything for you what you want, just you know, play games or something like this. And
Because in what way did you participate in the Lublin campus? Did you remember some of them?
there were a lot of events that were just, I didn't remember anything special, but there are events there. The subjects, for example, there were board games, and last time I've seen that there were something about dancing, but I wasn't there. And yeah, this is something about talking with people from the whole world about topics that are just during this project.
So you can verify that this project exists?
Yeah, this project exists. Yes.
Thank you. I planned it out and I set him up here for you to promote the project and say how great it was. But yeah, I showed just 5 initiatives which were held from 2021 up to now. So these projects are constantly happening. And these are the projects that are led by young people to address some needs or some problems that they see in the local community. So the themes that a project takes can vary so much because it should be just a response to the needs of a community. And for example, in Lublin we have many people, like 300,000, that can have a lot of needs. So the theme is of your choosing, but usually it's directed towards an proven need that the community has. Do I have anything else? It is possible for your initiative on your own to submit a project for funding, but you will have to then go through the process of the enrollment yourself. The most popular way, and the way that these projects were coordinated, is through an NGO, because an NGO is joining in a database of organizations that do such events and that are coordinating, like taking responsibility for these initiatives. In this case, in all of these 5 projects, the organization in charge was the Sempre à Frente Foundation, which I am also a volunteer in. But in that way, even as volunteers, we could come up to the workers of the foundation and say, all right, I want to do this project. I have 5 people, and I would like to submit a project under your foundation. So then, foundation can also grant you support for the project, especially if it's a youth-directed organization. Usually, youth workers that work there are supposed to help you and support you throughout the process, because European Solidarity Corps isn't supposed to be for professionals that have done 50 projects in their life. These are supposed to be an opportunity for any young people that want to take action in the local communities to do so. So it should be very open, and we also as Europeans strive to tell you, like, you can do this, but also similarly to Erasmus Plus, you need to take action. You need to take initiative and, for example, write a document explaining your projects that you can then send over to the national agency for you to receive the funding. So you need to take action, but also there comes very many opportunities with that I feel like are amazing. So, yeah. Another part, again, I will show you the same site that Mihailo showed last session. Again, it turned out I'm a copycat today, but the youtheuropa.eu, the European Youth Portal, is a place where you can register as a potential volunteer, and then you have access to an interactive map in which you can search for different projects that are organized by different NGOs. So you can then look over the offers and submit applications to different volunteering opportunities. This volunteering is for you, like individual volunteering, so you are going on your own, can take from 2 months to 12 months. So you can go for 2 months, or you can take a whole year out of your life to go volunteering. But in response to your willingness to go and volunteer and commit yourself to your tasks, the European Solidarity Corps provides you accommodation, provides you funding, provides you pocket money for you to live out as a volunteer, because volunteering is not receiving income for your work, but still European Solidarity Corps provides you so that you can still survive and volunteer at the same time. So definitely check out this site, even if you're not willing to go right away. But just out of curiosity, you can look and see what are possible opportunities, and maybe you will find something perfect for you. Also, what I mentioned from the 2 to 12 months is an individual volunteering, but there is something called a group volunteering, in which one organization is looking simultaneously at a group of volunteers at the same time. And these projects can take from 2 weeks to 2 months, so they can be much quicker and shorter projects. Because, for example, which is a great initiative to be an example of group volunteering by the European Solidarity Corps, is Europe for Youth. It's an NGO that is based in Kraków, and each year they do an enrollment looking for international volunteers via the European Solidarity Corps platform. And then each year these different groups of volunteers are organizing a festival that's its aim is to promote youth opportunities. So each year a different mix of volunteering is in charge of a certain event that the NGO is giving them responsibilities according to make the event the best way they can. What is important? There is something so-called humanitarian volunteering, and in which you need to have special training to be a volunteer at, because usually you are going to troublesome communities, you are really responding to needs that can be just hard to manage with. So you then also by the national agency are receiving training to be competent enough to also just show help in the best way possible. And these opportunities, volunteering of the European Solidarity Corps is for people between ages of 18 and 30, so over the 18 up to the age gap of youth. And then humanitarian volunteering is for people up to 35. So a little bit of more time to consider going for humanitarian volunteering. And yeah, letting you know that. I'm checking my time because I don't know how fast I was speaking. I have 10 minutes. So in case we will just have an additional couple minutes of break, I just want to respond like, you can leave your cards now. Just thumbs up or down. Do you understand anything? And has your knowledge of European opportunities has got better throughout this session? Yes. Yes. Very nice. So happy. So happy. All right. Thank you so much, guys.